cards and magic cards. Yes, that's right, I did say magic cards. I do not mean Magic the Gathering. I mean the old spell cards. So you already saw White Dragon Ritual, so I'm not going to bother showing you that again. So we have my field card, Mountain. I have two of them, since they're very easily destroyed. Increase the attack and defense of all dragons, wing beast, and thunder type monsters by 200 points. Excuse me. And in our dragon deck, that can help. Let's set that aside. We have two mystical space typhoons for negating spell and trap cards. We have... I'll get to normal spell cards later. And I forgot my other quick play card, Silver's Cry. I can use that to summon a normal dragon type monster out of my graveyard. So yeah, we have some equip cards. Horn of the Unicorn, Black Pendant, and Black Pendant. Horn of the Unicorn is plus 700 attack and defense, and when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, it goes back to the top of my deck. Kinda waste your draw phase, but if someone uses a D-spell on it, if someone destroys it before you can use it, you just get it back and can use it anyways. Black Pendant, it's only 500 attack, but it inflicts 500 damage to your opponent's life points when it's sent from the field to the graveyard. So that helps a bit. We have my magic cards. We have one Dragon Treasure. See? Magic card. Magic. See? One of my friends has a lot of these. See, this is plus 300 to dragons. Plus 300 attack and defense to dragons. Dragon's Gunfire. I have two. It's 800 points of damage to your opponent's life points, or destroy a face-up monster with a defense of 800 points or less. I usually use the first effect. And then we have my Different Dimension Capsule, which I can use it to banish a monster from my deck face down, and after 2 turns, add it to my hand. So that's kind of a good effect to use, especially with Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Especially if I have a Blue Eyes in my hand. Anyways, then we move on to the normal spell cards. Trade in. You can discard a level 8 monster and draw 2 cards. That can help a lot. If I have Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon on the field, I can use this to discard a Blue Eyes, draw 2 cards, and use Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon's effect to summon that Blue Eyes out of my graveyard. I have Draconic Tactics. If I have 2 Dragon-type monsters on the field, I contribute them to summon a level 8 Dragon-type monster from my deck. Blue Eyes. See, I have 2 Soul Exchanges. I can use those to tribute opponent's monsters. Let's see. White Elephant's Gift. You can send a face-up non-effect monster I control to the graveyard to draw 2 cards. I'd be like Alexandrite Dragon or Flambeau Guard, or Blue Eyes or Baby Dragon. I wouldn't use it on Blue Eyes, though, unless I had Red Eyes Darkness Metal on the field. Monster Reincarnation, discard, add a monster to my hand from my graveyard. Dragon Shrine, send 1 or 2 Dragon-type monsters from my hand to the grave, or from my deck to the grave. Excuse me. Use that with Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon on the field. Send a Blue Eyes to the grave, and boom, it comes right out. It's essentially summoning it from your deck. Dark Hole. Pretty sure everyone knows what that does. Destroys all monsters on the field, for those who don't know. Cards of Continents. I discard a Dragon-type tuner with 1,000 or less attack and draw 2 cards. Notice it shows White Stone of Legend. Right there. White Stone of Legend. So that's actually a great thing to use. Yeah, White Stone of Legend with this card, because then you get to draw 2 cards and add a Blue Eyes to your hand. And then Swords of Revealing Light. Opponent can't attack for 3 turns and has to have all monsters face up. It doesn't say anything about defense position. It does not say anything about defense position. So they can change all their monsters they want to attack position. They just can't attack. Okay, so I'm going to move on to my trap cards. Don't have as many of these. Let's go through counters first. See, we have Divine Wrath and Champion's Vigilance. Divine Wrath is discard a card from my hand and negate the activation of an effect monster's effect and destroy that effect monster. Some effects only activate when they're in the graveyard. So, like, if someone uses an effect that activates when it's destroyed by battle and in the graveyard, I can still use this, because it negates the activation of the effect. It just doesn't destroy it, because it's already destroyed. And then I have Champion's Vigilance, which, honestly, some of my friends hate this card. But if I control a level 7 or higher monster, Blue Eyes, Red Eyes Darkness Metal, Red Eyes Black, Red Eyes Darkness Dragon. When I say Red Eyes Black, I mean Red Eyes Black Dragon. If a monster is summoned, or Spell Trap is activated, I negate it and destroy it. So we go to my normal spell cards, or trap cards. Scrap Iron Scarecrow. Honestly, one of my favorites, because it's set, your opponent attacks, you activate it, you negate the attack, and by its own effect, it flips back over for use on the next turn. It can only be used once per turn, but, yeah. So it helps to have 3 of those, but I only have 1. See, a hero emerges. This one's a pretty good one, because when your opponent declares an attack, you can activate it, and your opponent summons a monster from your hand. Well, they pick a card in your hand, and if it's a monster, it's summoned. If it can be special summoned by this effect, like Red Eyes Darkness Dragon, he can't be summoned by this, but, yeah. If it's not, you just send it to the graveyard. See, Staunch Defender. This is kind of a good one, because when my opponent declares an attack, I activate this and choose one of my monsters. They have to attack it with all of their face-up monsters that can attack. So, if I have an overpowered Blue Eyes on the field, thanks to, like, all 3 equipped cards and maybe a mountain, and, yeah. Maybe not overpowered. But still, I like overpowered. Kind of. I like it when I use it. I like how people like stuff, or I find it weird that people like stuff when they use it, but hate it when other people use it. So anyways. So yeah, they have to attack my monster they have to attack the monster I selected with all of their face-up monsters that are able to attack. Let's see, Dragon Carnation. I can target one banished dragon-type monster I have, and add it to my hand. Helps with Darkness Metal Dragon, because one of his effects is that he can be special summoned by banishing a dragon-type monster that I control. Face-up dragon-type monster. So I can use that to summon him and then get that monster back. Cemetery Bomb. Inflict 100 points of damage to my opponent for every card in their graveyard. Okay, Micro Ray. Defense of 1 face-up monster on the field becomes 0 till the end of the end phase. That helps because then I have Dragon's Rage on the field, as well as my Rider of the Stormwinds equipped to a Blue Eyes. That would inflict twice the damage, twice the attack of my Blue Eyes, if I attack with Blue Eyes. So yeah, 2 Micro Rays, and of course Dust Tornado to destroy a spell or trap on the field. That's always helpful. So I'm going to be going to my continuous spell cards, or trap cards. Why do I keep saying spell cards? We have Dragon's Rage, which is when I attack a defense position monster with a dragon. If that defense position monster has defense lower than my dragon-type monster's attack, the difference is battle damage. Yeah, the difference is inflicted as battle damage. I have 2 of those. I have a Dragon's Bead, which I can it's continuous, obviously. I can discard from my hand to negate the activation of a trap card that targets, to negate the effect, excuse me, of a trap card that targets one face-up dragon-type monster, and destroy the trap card. Call of the Haunted, bring back a monster from my graveyard. Unfortunately, the weakness in this card is that when it's destroyed, so is the monster. Then we have my Fiendish Chain, which you target one effect monster on the field, and it can't use its effect or attack. So yeah. I guess, I've already told you some of the effects of this deck. But anyway, here. There's one thing I use. I usually use my different dimension capsule with my Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Is when I do, I don't even have to actually look at the face of the cards, because if you can kind of barely tell, but the back of his card is slightly lighter than my other cards. So, I can, just looking at the back, next of all my cards, I can find him and use this. Can also use something similar with two of my other monsters. With this Blue Eyes, it has kind of fold marks in it that go horizontally. I can use that to pick that out. Or, if I have my Red Eyes Black Dragon, it has similar fold marks, but they go vertically. So I can use that to pick that one out. But again, that's 3 out of 63 cards, so there's a 1 in 21 chance that I'll know what I'm drawing. So you really... It's not really... I don't think it's cheating. I don't know, I guess it's up to you, personal preference on whether or not you think it's cheating. Yeah, I'd consider it cheating if it was like every single one of my cards. That would be cheating. But with just 3, and because of the fact that I had nothing to do with how the cards got like that. I mean, this I bought online. Blue Eyes I traded for, and my Red Eyes Black Dragon. I've had that for years, and it came like that. Because I got it from a friend, and it came like that. So, I mean, I can't be blamed for any of that. I didn't set it up like that. I'm just using it to my advantage. So yeah, just tell me what you think of this deck, and maybe what improvements I could make to this deck. And, thanks for watching. Bye!